Let's try this again. Um, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think I gotta be more self-aware in what headlines I include in what videos because the videos gotta be able to sustain themselves as far as view count. And with the fact that I am aware of what, like, I have the headlines in front of me, so I gotta be more aware of what the hell's going on with his arm. I gotta be more aware of that in the future, but you live and you learn. But now we're gonna jump right over to WWE as we start off this news. There we will spend some time with WWE in this news video because there are, as I said, some headlines with WWE. But we got the major announcement from AEW to talk about later as well. But we start with some news from AEW Dynamite last night with Christian Cage appearing on screen with a shadowy figure next to him. It looked like Luchasaurus, and many assume it was Luchasaurus, but the commentary asked or wondered who exactly that was with Christian Cage, so it might be a repackaged Luchasaurus, which would not be the worst thing in the world because I think maybe changing his name should have been something that was considered once he joined Christian Cage last year instead of keeping the Luchasaurus gimmick because Luchasaurus, I don't want to say the Luchasaurus gimmick may have ran its course, but hitting the refresh button is sometimes a bad thing, but in this case, I think it would be a good thing, in my opinion. But now we jump to WWE to get it out of the way as far as there are two stories regarding the Dom and Rey Mysterio match at WrestleMania, where Dom was on a recent podcast and said basically that he saw that he went when he was coming out for his match, he saw that his mom and sister were at ringside and saw that his sister had a drink, walked over and threw the drink on her. You know, he saw that there was not much left, you know, so he took the drink like he was going to take a drink, and then he ended up tossing the drink on her. I mean, yes, there should, you know, it should be, you know, reference included or harken back included, but the fact of the matter is, it fits Dominic and what is, you know, what they've been going for with him over the last couple months. But the fact of the matter is, he even said in that interview that he would love to do more to mess with his family. As, I mean, I gotta applaud Dom and the work that he's done and how much he's improved since Clash at the Castle last year when he turned on Edge and Rey Mysterio and joined the Judgment Day. Like, it is incredible to see how much he has improved over the last since last fall. You know, it's incredible to see how much he's improved since last fall. I do gotta say. But speaking of Dom and Rey's match at WrestleMania, there was the promo package on the pre-show was different than the promo package on the actual show because the promo package on the pre-show had footage of what looked to be a prison or what was meant to be a prison. But someone didn't do their research. Because had they done their research, they would have found better footage to use, more appropriate footage to use. Because somebody chose to use footage from Auschwitz instead of, you know, footage that they should actually be using in a WWE promo package. Again, if you want to use footage of that variety, we have an abandoned prison in San Francisco that if you don't want to go to an actual prison, you know, an active prison, which you might not be able to go to an active prison in film, So if you want to go to an abandoned prison and film, there's one in San Francisco. But it's obvious to me somebody just found footage and did not really think too much of it, because if they did, they would have realized how inappropriate, insensitive, and shameful it would be to use that type of footage. And they did because of the fact that they took it out, but they shouldn't have used it in the first place and should have realized how insensitive, shameful, and inappropriate it would be to use that type of footage to begin with. But they didn't, because they didn't look into where the footage was coming from. Had they, it wouldn't have been the situation that they're in now. But it is WWE, and but somebody should get disciplined, somebody should get fired, somebody should get reprimanded, something should happen to somebody who made such a stupid decision that they didn't look into. That, it's like, I don't understand. But it was a major mistake either way. But they did, whoever made the mistake deserves to be reprimanded for it. But now we jump back to AEW and some positive news, as Switchblade Jay White is officially All Elite as announced by Tony Khan last night. Switchblade, who had his contract expire in New Japan earlier this year, has been the top free agent on the market, and there has been a lot of fans wondering and speculating if he would go to WWE, and I think I speak for a lot of people that say that he is a better fit in AEW than he would be in WWE. Speaking of people going All Elite, though, Nigel McGuinness is also All Elite, and he was with Tony Khan last night as a correspondent for the major announcement that we will get to in just a bit. I am a big fan of Nigel McGuinness. I'm also a fan of Jay White, and I would love to see what Jay White can do in AEW. And I hope that AEW starts him slow and doesn't expect that he should be in the main event immediately, because again, that is expecting that all fans know or watch other professional wrestling and not just your promotion, which you can't expect that, and they should give Jay White the opportunity to be introduced and allow him to allow the fans to get to know him, rather than assume that everybody knows who he is already. Nigel McGuinness is All Elite. Nigel McGuinness is one of the best commentators in the business, and the fact that he is a part of All Elite Wrestling is a benefit and a coup for the company. But now we switch over as Saraya regrets her debut promo where she took a shot at WWE, and where she said basically she was told to take that shot, and instead of saying no, she said yes. So, I mean, I really don't have anything to say about it, but props to her for saying she regrets the promo. As she said, it led to a lot of tribalism, and it was her mistake because tribalism is not a good thing, and 100% I agree. Tribalism it doesn't make sense. It's stupid. It's dumb. There's no point. There's no point in tribalism. You can like more than one wrestling company, you could watch more than one wrestling company, and you could support more than one wrestling company. You don't have to like one more than the other. And even if you like one more than the other, you don't have to disrespect people who do like the other ones. That's all I gotta say. But now we shift over to the bigger news, as FTR have stayed with AEW, and the reason being is, as Cash said, scheduling and AEW will allow us to give back to wrestling. So the schedule and giving back to wrestling, that lends to the possibility of FTR still being able to do that run on the indies that they wanted to do. But FTR are the new AEW World Tag Team Champions after defeating the Guns last night on Dynamite. And the pop when they won, and the match was spectacular. It told a great story. And if AEW does more main events like that, and keeps more shows like that. The momentum that they will have is incredible, but not just on Rampage, but not just on Dynamite. They gotta up the level on Rampage too, especially if they want to bring in another show over the summer. They gotta up the level of the B show, and upping the level of the B show will up the level of the A show as well. But the major announcement that Tony Khan made alongside the newest commentator in AEW is All In at Wembley Stadium on August 27th. All In, I didn't even know All In was still a pay-per-view. I thought All Out was the pay-per-view. So it is something brand new, but it is in Wembley Stadium, which Wembley Stadium is not Wembley Arena. Wembley Stadium is the place where SummerSlam 92 was held and could hold upwards of 90,000 fans. So there is not a lot known about this event at this point right now, but what we do know, it is going to be AEW's debut event in the United Kingdom, and it is an announcement that lived up to the expectation of a major announcement. With that being said, though, that is it for the news, and I will see you in the next video.